hope everyone is doing okay. It is you could say, an early morning soapbox. I was wide awake, I was sitting here playing chess, and I figured I could be doing the news. So I have a few shows, I have a slate of shows, and I gotta be honest, I don't suspect anybody is going to be up this early in the morning. So I'm probably going to run through these rather quickly with a list that I may do this evening. Nevertheless, so let's start. This background, Big Ben is in the background, so let's hop across the pond and let's talk about events that are taking place in the UK. I've said before that Brexit is somewhat of a big deal, and it's somewhat fascinating to me to look at what is taking place, this kind of interdynamic of politics that are going on within the country itself, in addition to dealing with an external body that's larger than the individual nation state, if that makes sense. It's just fascinating politics. So this is Theresa May. As you know, Theresa May is having a very bad day. Theresa May has been negotiating a withdrawal agreement for bringing the UK out of the European Union. Her initial withdrawal agreement was voted down in stunning numbers. I think, if I'm not mistaken, it was going all the way back to like the 1920s or something. That something was comparable. And so she came back with Plan B. Plan B was effectively Plan A with one major tweak. There were others, but one major tweak. That she goes back to the European Union and renegotiates the backstop, meaning get rid of that backstop. We don't like that backstop. Now, when she did this, Parliament voted her Plan B with this plus through. Congratulations to Theresa May on that front. Problem. Theresa May wants to show that she has a mandate, meaning this is the first time where they found a Brexit plan that was able to get through, meaning her Plan B plus. This plus being to change the backstop. So she comes back and she's like, I want to show them that we have a path through. We want to show them that we're unified in our purpose, that we can once and for all get an actual plan through Brexit. Now, this is dependent upon her being able to go to the European Union and renegotiate the backstop, which the European Union has said they are not going to do at all. They've said no for the past several months, and they may be holding out some goodies at the very end, meaning at the very end of the process when they're finally at the last minute looking eyeball to eyeball, saying, all right, we'll give you this. We'll give you this. But they've shown none of that at this point. And Theresa May has to show that she can actually get a plan through Parliament, first of all, before the European Union budgets on anything, if they budget on anything at all, which I'm not all that necessarily certain they will. So in showing a unification of purpose and showing that she has a mandate, I love that term, mandate. I think that's what it is, a unification of purpose. A large body that's all in unison doing a particular thing. So she believes she has a mandate. She puts it up for a vote just to show that, yes, we have a clear purpose on this, that we can get this plan through the House. And the government lost. They lost that vote. Now, everybody had expected this vote to pass, seeing as the previous vote passed, and this was just somewhat of a restatement of the previous vote. Problem. Rebel Brexiteers, and they're not rebels, they just have a particular political disposition, but Brexiteers abstained from the vote. They abstained from the vote because this vote tried to rule out a no-deal Brexit. Even though the vote that they just took was non-binding, just the fact that it was enunciating that there was going to be a no-deal Brexit and that the government's position was to stop a no-deal Brexit, they abstained from the vote. They wanted nothing to do with the vote. And it having nothing to do with the vote, and if I'm not mistaken, there were even some remainers that were put off by this particular disposition. They abstained. Theresa May lost in a vote that was trying to show a singularity of purpose among the UK and to show that they could get this bill through Parliament. They couldn't do it. Now, Theresa May has to go to the European Union, and she was supposed to be going to the European Union saying, look, we're unified. We finally can get a bill through. We just need you to make this one adjustment. If you make this one adjustment, we can make this work. We can get this withdrawal agreement, and we can be out of the UK, out of the European Union, March 29th. And she was voted down. Look at two parts to this. One of these had me laughing my ass off. One of these had me laughing my ass off. So this is when the failure took place. It seems so innocuous.
The ayes to the right, 258. The noes to the left, 303.
They're laughing. They're laughing. The government just got voted down, and the opposition is laughing at the fact that the government got voted down. Now, look, Theresa May has a particular political disposition in this. She may understand that the European Union is running down the clock. She herself is running down the clock, maybe getting to that last few moments of, look, this is what we're going to get. We need a deal or not, and trying to avoid a no-deal Brexit. Theresa May is also right, meaning getting goodies out of the last minute. Theresa May is also right that in order to avoid a no-deal Brexit, you have to vote on something. Meaning something has to be able to get through the House in order to avoid a no-deal Brexit. Otherwise, by default, you get a no-deal Brexit. You can't necessarily just make a law saying you're not going to get a no-deal Brexit. You actually have to get a deal. And at this point, they can't even... The non-binding resolution to show solidarity couldn't even get through Parliament. This looks bad. Here's another part that I thought was utterly and entirely hilarious to me. Right here. God, I thought this was so funny. Jeremy Corbyn, Theresa May didn't show up for this. Like, this indignity of her being voted down when she was supposed to get, showing that she had a mandate that, we're, solidified at this purpose. We have a singularity of will. It got voted down. She wasn't there for this. She didn't sit there for another brutal defeat because nobody thought this was going to be a defeat. Jeremy Corbyn, however, was there. And Jeremy Corbyn was pissed off by the fact that the Prime Minister wasn't there to, show her face for this second or third, fourth, how much ever defeat.
Surprising that the Prime Minister is not even here to hear the result of this vote.
And I love how they show the backbenchers. It's like, yeah, the Prime Minister's not here. Look at the people who are here. And all of them are kind of like, yeah. This guy has been answering questions. I don't know who this person is, but he's been answering and taking questions. And so as people are addressing, he's the guy that has to get up and kind of explain why the Prime Minister is not here. I find this to be utterly hilarious for some reason. And Jeremy Corbyn is like bringing attention to the fact. It's like, you failed again. And you're not even here to take your failure like a woman or like a man or whatever. Like I said, this one is not long, but look, at the end of the day, I can understand this to some degree, the running down the clock if you're Theresa May, because you may believe that at the end of the day, that's when you get something out of them. Well, fair enough. By the same token, the people who are in the various constituencies, particularly many of the MPs, they don't have that perspective. And they get freaked out. People get freaked out when they don't necessarily know what the next day is going to look like. And in this case, people don't know what the next day is going to look like because they can't get these things through Parliament. And even from the standpoint of Labour, Labour is even divided on this particular issue, which part of Labour trying to force another referendum is saying ignore democracy itself. And the other part sticking to the Brexit thing with, I guess, modifications of tying the UK into a customs union. Either way, this was a fascinating failure, man. This is brutal. That's entirely brutal. All right, I'm going to end this. Gardner, one thing that isn't discussed often is that the EU has not made this process easy. The EU has no intention of making this process easy, Gardner. I mean, I think I've said that from day one. Like, do you have some... I've watched European Parliament. And over the years, what you've seen is you have true believers. There's some people who actually full well strongly believe in this idea of a European Union. And the idea that the UK is leaving does not necessarily rub them all that well, especially with people like Farage and make a process easy for a member state to leave. Because it wants to dissuade other member states from trying to go through the same process. Just from an incentive standpoint, they were going to make it difficult for the UK. All right, I'm going to end this. if you guys enjoy the content, please feel free to share, like, subscribe. You can always support through PayPal or Patreon. Even $1 helps, and it also gives you access to additional content. My wife and I are going to be doing a patron appreciation show each week. So the next one is going to be Sunday at 1 p.m. and that would immediately be put up for patrons and patrons only. So hope you guys are doing great, and I will see you guys in a few. Thanks all.